Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Nanticoke boys basketball. Brent Piontkowski joining us right now. Well, Brent, first thing you look at is you're a pretty good-sized kid at 6'5". And, of course, you have a lot of guards there in Nanticoke that could do the job. But bread and butter should be pound the ball inside and see what you could do. Let's talk about how your season's going so far there for the Trojans.
Season's going pretty well. In the last couple games, we've started shooting a little better. Our big guy, Justin Casey, inside, has been getting a lot of rebounds. It's been picking up a lot since the season's been going on.
Brenton, how about what do you think makes you a successful basketball player? What are some things you really tried to focus in on between your junior and now your senior year?
Well, one of the things I'm trying to focus on is just being able to, more consistent with my shots and my shot selection. It's just been a big difference between last year and this year because this year I've been given more rain outside, being able to shoot more, take the ball to the basket more from the outside.
Basketball runs in the family. There's been some good Piontkowskis at Nanticoke over the years. And, of course, let's talk a little about the family and how they get behind you with your athletic part.
My family's a big support. They're always at all my games and everything. And, they love to come out and see the games.
How about as far as pushing you? Tell us about who's your biggest pusher as far as Coach Beggs. You have somebody in your family? You kind of self-motivated and do it on your own?
It's definitely my parents that motivate me. They're always at the games and everything, and they just help me through a lot.
Brent, let's talk a little bit about your team this year overall. You got a lot of guys that could shoot. There is some other guys that do have some size on this team as well, but you're kind of the guy in the middle. Let's first talk about some of the guard play that we expect this year from the Trojans.
There's Scott Stout. He's our leading scorer this year so far, and he's been doing really well. He's very aggressive. And then we have our point guard, Eddie Luke, who's really good, just finding people when they're open, and then he hits down the threes when they're there. And then we got Luke, who's a 3 guy. He's a little bigger for a guard, but he's dead on from outside.
And then you throw in a guy like Alec Norton who can make some trick shots. He's a good athlete, and when he gets on the floor, he'll do some good things for you as well.
Yeah, Alec Norton, he's one of my best friends, and he's by far, he's a huge help this year. He didn't come out last year. He came back out this year. And he's just been a huge help inside, especially with him in the game. That allows me to move to 4, which I appreciate him helping me out there a lot.
Brent, you also have a pretty deep team. 4 starters returning. You got guys that can come off the bench, whether it's a kid like Zach Cardone or somebody that'll kind of fuel some points. Tell us about making a run in the playoffs, hopefully, because you guys have some depth.
Yeah, if we can make a run, which we're hoping to do, the depth is going to be an amazing thing for us because, like you said, Zach Cardone, he can shoot it. We have Cody Peacock coming off the bench. We just have a bunch of people, just like Alec Norton. There's so many people that we can just put into spots when they're needed.
How about as far as some of the things that you and your friends talk about, getting better on the basketball court? What are things you think you'll expect when playoff time comes around? You're going to face some teams that could be a little bit quicker, teams that are a little bit bigger, a little more athletic. What do you think that is coming down the line for Nanticoke when February hits?
Oh, yeah. When we get out into February in playoffs, there's going to be teams, but they're definitely going to be quicker than us after that. I just think Nanticoke prides themselves on their defense, and I think if we can stop them with the defense in our heart, then we should be able to win some games in the playoffs.
Brent, let's talk a little bit about your future endeavors. Tell us about what you're planning on doing next year. Actually, we're here in 2016, so it'll just be the fall at this point. But tell us about some schools that are in the mix, and I think in basketball is part of your future as well.
Yeah, I'm actually looking right now. I'm looking at Kings and Marywood and Misericordia. I'm hoping to play basketball in college. I'm looking to forward my education doing accounting.
All right. Well, it sounds like a great plan that you have. And, of course, I know you're going to be pretty darn special there for Nanticoke for the rest of this season, so we're wishing you the very best.
Thank you.
Senior forward, 6'5", Brent Piontkowski, pretty versatile. He can shoot. He can do a little bit of everything. Pretty athletic as well. Check him out here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.